Welcome to Red Talk Episode 2. Today, you will be hearing from Ameka Coleman, the owner and founder of Strands of Faith. Enjoy.
Hello, my name is Ameka Coleman, and I'm the founder and CEO of Strands of Faith. We are a purpose-driven beauty brand that creates and manufactures products to bring joy to textured hair, okay? And we also merge hair care with heart care because we care about your heart just as much as we care about your hair. Yes, economic development to me means access, opportunities, especially for overlooked and underrepresented people within our communities. And so, as a small business, it is always my plan and honor to build a business big enough to be able to pour back into our community by providing jobs. And small businesses are honestly the backbone of our communities and the economic development that comes across. And so, that's why it's so important to me as a business owner to grow a business so that I can pour back into our community so that we can grow and keep this dollar circulating within the communities that matter the most to us and the ones that support us the most. Woo! A bold risk that I took that has shaped my venture was starting the venture itself. So taking that leap of faith to start Strands of Faith was one of the biggest risks that I could have ever taken in my life, because when I started the company, it was at a time where I didn't plan to start a business. I didn't plan to start a hair care business. And, there were a lot of businesses that already existed. And so sometimes you get in your head and you have that idea that if something already exists, who am I to bring something of the same thing into their market? But that's why it was a bold risk, because what I brought to the market was unique and it was a gap that only I could fill. And so that's what taking that risk was for me. And that's how the venture has been able to be shaped and to grow into what it is today. February will be 8 years. And I often think, what if I wouldn't have started? What if I would have allowed the voices in my head to talk me out of something that was meant and destined for me? So that was the biggest risk that I have taken to date, and I'm so glad that I bet on myself. Today, February will be period. I overcome the fear of failure by being anchored in my purpose. When you are in purpose and you know your why and you know why you're doing the thing that you're called to do, then fear of failure honestly becomes a little bit less scary, because anybody who reaches whatever level of success that they deem as success has to fail somewhere along the way. And so failure is just lessons and feedback that helps you to become a better person and to optimize and to strengthen whatever it is that you're doing. And so fear of failure is something where initially it was something that I had to work through, but as I've been on this journey, I now welcome it. I welcome it. I like failure, come stare me in the face, because we can go at it, right? And my faith is one of the strongest things that I have that has kept me grounded. And that's the opposite of failure. I mean, that's the opposite of the fear of failure, like fear, that emotion of fear. And so if you can just replace that, what if this is the faith of failure? The faith that even if I fail, God still got me and I'm still going to overcome and I'm still going to meet the end road or whatever plans that He has for me. I'm still going to make it there. So fear of failure is something that we all go through, but you just have to switch the perspective and say, whatever is meant to meet me on this journey will meet me. We intentionally give back by a number of ways, and giving back is actually the heartbeat of what we do. So we give back hair care kits to women's shelters, to foster homes, to different nonprofits who reach out and have different events. That's how we give back in the form of like hair care. But then also, one of the most important ways that we give back is not even in products. Sometimes, we're doing STEM talks. Like I'll show up to different schools to speak to students about the various career paths with STEM and how it can lead to entrepreneurship, and just being able to pour into their young minds and shape them while they're at an impressionable age is one of the things that give me the greatest joy. And so we pour back in that way. We also pour back into our community. We do wellness blogs. We send a mustard seed with all of our products. And I think the way we measure impact is by stories. the stories that we hear when people come back and say that using your product has increased my confidence in my hair and how I show up, or receiving this seed made me feel like I can keep going, like I can keep the faith even though life is tough. And so that's some of the ways we measure impact. And then also additionally, I want to say this is like outside of ourselves, but collaboration and partnership are so important for us. And so we've actually partnered with the Brown Home Group, which they have a focus on catering to foster care students. And so this past summer, we had the opportunity to partner with them during their book bag drive. And so partnerships and giving back is something that keeps us going as a business and reminds us why we do what we do. And so we are very, very intentional in the way that we give. One piece of advice I would give to someone who is new to entrepreneurship is to start small, start scared, but just start, okay? There is no perfect plan. There is no blueprint. You won't always have everything from A to Z before you can, see the whole vision, put it together. You just have to start. And I know that sounds easier said than done, but just think about it. When you start walking as a toddler, you put one foot in front of the other, and then before you know it, you're walking like a pro. And that's the same thing with business. Like, you can't allow fear to hold you back from the dreams and the goals and the visions that God has given you, because he gave them to you for a reason. And the only way that you can act on them and the only way you can see them coming to fruition is if you take that step. So start small, start scared, and know that everything is going to be added to you in the seasons that they are meant to be added to you. Every season is one where you're going to be built in some type of way. Your character, your fortitude, your perseverance, your grit. But you just have to start and know that it's a journey. A journey means that you start here, and along the way, you experience so many things along the path, right? It's not straight, it's not narrow, it zigs and it zags, and it's okay. But in order to get to the end, you have to start. So my piece of advice is to just start and keep the faith. Yes, we have a lot of amazing deals coming up for the holidays, from our bundles to our single products, wash day routine, scalp routine, styling, whatever you need for your hair, we got it. And so you can go to strandsoffaith.com, and we have a new deal of the day every day until December the 2nd. And then in Christmas, we have 12 days of Christmas leading up to Christmas. www.strandsoffaith.com. You can use code HEALTHY15 for 15% off your purchase, or check out all the other amazing deals with the deal of the day. I'm Ameka Coleman, and you just learned more about Strands of Faith. Thank you for having me on Red Talk.
Thank you, Ameka, for sharing your insights on economic development. Into social action, we carry one clear truth forward: participation fuels progress. And one of the most powerful ways to protect our businesses, our communities, and our future is through informed, intentional voting. Here are 4 ways to be a boss of your vote. Now, we would love to hear from you.